everyone, it's Hannah and I have a bit of a different video for you today. So, a couple of weeks ago now, when I first moved to Germany, when my internet was really bad, I decided that I wanted to do a really big crafty YouTuber collab. And there wasn't actually a craft tag on YouTube because I've looked for it and I've tried to find it and I couldn't find it. So I decided to make my own craft tag. Now, I didn't want it to be about a specific craft, which is all the craft tags I have seen, so there are craft tags, but they've all been polymer clay based and that is not where my specialities lie. So I couldn't do the tag, which I thought, you know, a bit discriminative, let's make my own. I was on Crafty Amino and I was on my own public chat that I've made, which is called Crafty YouTubers, and I was just typing on there and chatting to people, and I said, you know, it would be a really good idea, let's make up our own craft tag. So I got onto the forum and I've made a post saying I want to make my own craft tag, I want it to be a collaborative thing, I want people to suggest questions, and so you get to know new channels and the kinds of things that these people do and these kind of things these people make, and I get to find new channels as well and potentially make new friends, so it's all good. Including my own question, there are 15 of them altogether. Only one question was repeated by 2 people. That's fine. I'm going to put both of their names in because that's the kind of person I am. I've got it on my notebook, so that's what I'm looking at because I'm old school, I write things down. Before I get started, I will say that links to all of these channels will be in the description box below, as well as hopefully popping up on the screen as I ask the question. We'll see how my editing skills go. Make sure you check out their channels and show them some love. This first question is by SimplyCute9. They ask, why or what inspired you to start crafting? What inspired me to start crafting is I come from a very crafty family. Very crafty. Both of my grandmothers knitted, my mother knits, she also sews a bit, and when I was 10 I think, when I was 8 I used to start going to the local farm to start doing craft courses during the summer holidays, and then when I was 10 I went along to a craft club that they set up on a Friday evening, and yes, so I've been crafting for almost as long as I can remember and I love it. LA Love Polymer Clay asks, who inspired you to start crafting? So while I said I went to this farm and did craft courses, which I know sounds a bit strange, but it works, but I think my mum inspired me to start crafting the most. I remember sitting there when I was younger with 2 pencils and a bit of yarn imitating my mum knitting, and yeah, I can't remember her not knitting whilst watching TV or something, so I think that is who inspired me to start crafting. Crafty Chick asks, how long have you been crafting? I have been crafting for many years. So if I say that I started crafting before I was 8, that's just when I started going to craft club. So I'm going to say I used to make cards when I was 5 or 6. Now I'm not going to say they were good cards, but I used to make them. So that's almost 20 years. Nicole's Little Things. What everyday things inspire you to be creative? I don't really get inspired by things per se unless it's food, and then sometimes I see food that's really adorable and think I want to make that out of something else. I tend to just go on Pinterest, and Crafty Amino is pretty good as well for inspiration, but Pinterest. My Clockwork Castle. How do you deal with creative blocks? I suffer from these a surprising amount. I get stuck in a rut of creativity, so I will only crochet things or I will only bead things, and they tend to be the 2 things that I get stuck in. But I don't want my channel to just be crochet and beadwork, because that's, I don't want to be that channel. I don't want to become repetitive and become boring. So I do actually struggle quite a lot with creative blocks and trying to find new things to do, and that is when I go to Pinterest and I just browse Pinterest until something niggles its way in and is just like, oh, you could do this using this technique, and it seems to work. Applebee Designs asks, how do you deal with pressure or making items in bulk? I haven't had to make a lot of items in bulk before, so I'm not overly familiar with it. And when I did have to make an item in bulk, it was friendship bracelets, which take an age. And I did tell the customer, who was a friend, so it's a bit different, but he wanted 10 friendship bracelets making, and they were about this wide, They each had 18 strings in them. Now it was just a plain old candy stripe, but that means it was easy to do, but it was kind of boring and repetitive, and my poor hands suffered a lot over those few weeks, because that is how long it took. And how do you deal with pressure? Not very well. Not very well at all. Just plow on through. I think that's the only thing. Plow on through and do your best. That's all you can do. You can't go quicker than your quickest. My question is, what is your favourite craft and why? My favourite craft is a toss-up between crochet and beadwork. I really like time-consuming crafts. I think that is my secret. I really like beadwork because it looks really difficult to do, and it's really time-consuming, and you're essentially sewing together individual beads. But I really enjoy it. I find it very therapeutic. I find it very relaxing, and you can make amazing things from just tiny beads. Crochet I enjoy because, once again, it's very therapeutic. I don't find it that difficult to do, so I can get very stuck into a pattern and not want to stop until my hands cramp up and I'm just stuck like this because I've got crochet hand. Little Kawaii Things and Arty Crafty Love both ask, what is your favourite thing you have ever made? This is kind of a tricky one. So I think the favourite thing I've ever made is my first doily I made. I am extremely proud of that doily. It took me 7 hours to complete, and I am so pleased that I actually made it, and I'm so proud of myself because it's the first thing that I ever crocheted using such a small crochet hook and such small thread, and I loved it. It was ace. Not Pale Pink Craft asks, what is your favourite craft tool? Well, if we're going back to what my favourite crafting things are, then I'm going to have to say my favourite craft tool is either the crochet hook. Oh no, the scissors. Scissors are my favourite craft tool because I need them for both of my favourite crafts. Yeah, that makes sense. Amelano Luca? Really sorry if I mispronounced that. Really sorry. What is the first thing you ever made from your most used medium? Now I couldn't find my first crocheted item. That's at home somewhere. It was a little tortoise that I made. That was the first thing that I've made in recent times. I can't find the first thing I ever made because but I found one of the first friendship bracelets I made, and I found the first necklace that I made using brick stitch, which was the first stitch I learned how to do of beadwork. Crafty Angie asks, what is your least favourite craft and why? My least favourite craft is, does drawing count? It's either polymer clay, because I'm awful at it, or it's drawing. I am that person that doesn't like to do things if they're not very good at it. It's a personality flaw. I'm not happy with this personality flaw, but I've got it and I live with it. But I have great admiration and respect for those who can do both of those things because I find it super difficult. Retro Fairy Crafts asks, what is your biggest craft fail? I don't know what my biggest craft fail is, but my most frustrating craft fail is another doily that I made. I think I've got a picture of it somewhere. But I threw it out because I was so annoyed by it. I spent hours on this doily. Hours. It was a flaw with the pattern, it was not a flaw with what I did, as far as I'm aware anyway. But how it ended, you know how doilies are meant to be flat? This one wasn't flat. Now when you first crochet doilies, they're usually a bit crumpled around the edge and you're meant to block it with an iron, and so it just makes the thread or the yarn go ah, and then set in completely flat position. This one couldn't be blocked. It was all flat around the outside and sort of raised in the middle. It looked like a teeny tiny hat. It was awful. Zen Smart asks, where is the best place online to get craft supplies? I like this question. Because I want to know other people's responses. I always put a link in the description box to where I buy my craft supplies. I used to always buy my yarn from my local market in Nottingham. That market obviously isn't in Germany because I'm in Germany now, and I have noticed a price difference with yarn. I used to buy my beads from the bead shop in Nottingham, which is mailorder-beads.co.uk, and that's because I worked there, and also it was local to me, so it was really easy to find. Their beads aren't that expensive, so that is why I have a lot of supplies from that shop, because I used to work there. Also, I am a fan of Bead Stampede, who sells a wide selection of beads, and they are extremely reasonable and they're really friendly, and they write little notes on your invoices sometimes, and it's just really nice. I really like it. Hannah Crouch, who is Live for Crafts, asks, why do you enjoy crafting? I enjoy crafting because it really relaxes me. It really, I don't know, gives me something to do so I'm not biting my nails, because if you watch my previous videos, sort of like last year, you will know that I'm a nail biter. My first few videos, my nails are super duper short. Now look at them. I enjoy crafting because it's very therapeutic, it relaxes me, and after you sit for a few hours working on something, you have something to show for it at the end. And I just really like that. Craft Guyver asks, what does crafting mean to you? And this is quite a deep question, which is why I thought I would end with it, because it's a bit of a thinker. To me, crafting is a way of relaxing, it's a way of being creative, it's a way of using my brain in a way that I wouldn't have otherwise used it in. It's looking at a bunch of materials and thinking, I could create something amazing with this, and then doing it and creating it and being amazed by how talented you are. Like, sometimes I look at the things that I've made and I'm just like, really, I made that? Especially if I've made up the pattern for it as well. How have I made that? Ultimately, crafting to me means relaxing, but it also means being creative and having fun with what you do. Thank you all of you for watching this video. Don't forget to check out the links in the description box below if you didn't click them when they appeared on the screen, and check out all of these lovely people that suggested questions for this craft tag, and also check out their craft tags as and when they post them. I strongly encourage you to do this craft tag as well. All the questions will be in the description box below. If you decide to film one yourself, please send me the link. I want to watch it. I'm really nosy. I want to know what you all think about all of these things. Yes? Yes? Good. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to give it a big old thumbs up. Your support means an awful lot to me, and why not hit subscribe? I post a new video here in the Corner of Craft every Sunday, and sometimes a bonus one in the week as well, just like this one here. You're going to want to watch this Sunday. I have a collab coming up. It's going to be ace. Poor unfortunate soul. A little hint for you. Thank you very much once again for watching this video, and I shall see you very soon in Sundays. Bye!